Sixth grade, welcome to Friday. Yeah. At the top of your page right here, write Friday rules. Man, I love Fridays. They're the best. Okay, today we're going to talk about Greece and Persia. So we talked the last 2 days about Sparta and Athens, two little city-states inside of it. Today we're going to start to talk about some major wars that are going to happen, some big empires that are going to attack little Greece, and can Greece join together to fight them off? You have the essential question, which is why does conflict develop? And then it says, although it was large and powerful, the Persian Empire could not defeat the Greeks. And we're going to learn some of the key reasons for that. Let's get rolling. About the time that the government in Athens was undergoing political changes, the Persians were building a powerful empire in Southwest Asia. Persia was the homeland of the Persian. It was located in what today is southwestern Iran. So guys, if you're over here, you can see Persia in southwestern Iran today is that country. That's where they started. You can see how big they become. Okay, so you got number one in your notes. Early Persians were warriors and cattle herders from the grasslands of Central Asia. After settling in the highlands of Persia, they came under control of other people. Then a dynasty of kings brought the Persians together into a powerful kingdom. In 500 BC, a talented king named Cyrus the Great built a strong Persian army. With that army, he began creating an empire that became the world's largest empire in the ancient world. So you got number two in your notes, guys. Please understand, in the ancient times, this was the biggest empire out there when he took it to power. Okay, Persia's going to be the ones that conquers the Babylonians, guys, and frees Daniel in the lion's den. That's this guy. That's Cyrus. Okay, and different things happened when the Persians were in there. So Persia is definitely a biblical thing as far as the Medes and the Persians and how they worked with, especially during the Babylonian captivity. Continuing on. During the 540s BC, Persians troops swept into neighboring lands. They brought Mesopotamia, Syria, Canaan, and the Greek city-states of the areas of Anatolia under Persian rule. So guys, you can see the Greek city-states out here. This is not Greece of Athens and Sparta that we're talking about. This is Anatolia out here, Asia Minor. They conquered them as well. King Cyrus held his growing empire together by treating conquered people fairly. He allowed them to keep their own languages, their own religions, and their own laws. In addition, Cyrus decided that the Jews exiled in Babylon would be allowed to return to their homeland. So there you got what we talked about with the Babylonian captivity. Number three in your notes was part of this list here of people that he had conquered and brought under control. Continuing on. After Cyrus, other Persian rulers continued to expand the empire. Their armies took over Egypt, western India, and lands to the northeast of Greece. From west to east, the Persian Empire stretched a distance of 3,000 miles. It's about the size of the continental United States. So when we talk about the continental United States, guys, that's not talking Alaska and Hawaii. We're talking about California to Washington, D.C., from east to west. That's about how long this empire is that Cyrus and then leaders after him made it to. Guys, I think it's really important that you have that he treats them fairly. I get conquered in ancient times. If they make my life miserable, then we lead to revolt. If they don't, great. Okay, so you get an example. He lets the Jews go free, and even when he does, some Jews don't because the Babylonians had treated them so well. To link this large territory, the Persians improved the network of roads begun by the Assyrians. The most important route, called the Royal Road, ran more than 1,500 miles from Persia to Anatolia. That's that line on the map. Travelers could obtain food, water, and fresh horses at roadside stations along the route. Using the Royal Road, messengers could travel from Persia to Anatolia in just 7 days. So you got number 5 in your notes, guys. Sorry for the little L I left down there with the word royal. That same journey had taken 3 months before the road was built. So what they have is they have little rest areas along the way. So if I want to get a message from here to here, I ride my horse 20 miles, I stop, there's a rest area there, I switch out horses, and I can ride horses nonstop and get there in 7 days, which would normally take 3 months. You can understand the importance of communication with what's going on. Greece revolts and starts sending their army. The messenger takes off, gets here in 7 days. We turn our army around. We start marching our army back, and we can meet them here instead of the Greece getting their army all the way to here before they slowly got there. So importance of communication in the road system, guys. It's also going to help when the Apostle Paul starts preaching. He's going to be able to travel this road system. Continuing on. As the Persian Empire expanded, its increasing size made it more difficult to manage. Darius ruled Persia from 522 to 486. He reorganized the government to make it more efficient. He divided the empire into provinces, which he called satrapies. Each satrapy was ruled by a governor called a satrap. So you're working through number 6 in your notes. We see this term also used in the book of Daniel, guys. Darius is also a famous ruler. A satrap means the defender of the kingdom. The satrap's job: collect taxes, judge legal cases, manage the police, recruit soldiers for the Persian army. Persia maintained a full-time, paid, professional army. In comparison, the Greek army consisted of citizens called to serve only during times of war. The best fighters in the Persian army were the 10,000 soldiers who were trained to guard the king. They were known as the Immortals because whenever one of them died, another soldier immediately took his place. So you always had 10,000 soldiers protecting the king, guys. Now please note this: Persia is big enough and wealthy enough that I can have a full-time paid professional army. So what do you do for a living? I'm in the military. What do the Greeks do for a living? I'm a farmer. Well, who do you fight for? Well, when the bad guys come, then I learn how to fight. But every day these guys are going to be being trained as soldiers. Every day these guys are going to be working on a farm or working as a merchant, guys, okay? So please understand the difference. The Persians have a great advantage, and yet if you remember, guys, from our introduction, they weren't able to win. All right. You got number 7 in your notes on the Immortals. The Persians at first worshipped many gods. Then, sometime in the 600s, a religious teacher named Zoroaster preached a new monotheistic religion. Most Persians accepted his religion, which was called Zoroastrianism. Monotheistic, belief in one God, guys. Okay, so you got number 8 in your notes. Zoroaster taught that there was one supreme God. This deity was called Ahura Mazda, or the Wise Lord. Your number 9 as you're cruising through this now. Ahura Mazda was the creator of all things and the leader of the forces of good. Zoroaster believed that evil existed in the world. People were free to choose between good and evil, but at the end of the time, goodness would be victorious. Kind of sounds like what we believe, right? Good triumphs evil, Jesus beats Satan kind of thing. Zoroastrian teachings, prayers, and hymns were written down in a holy book. So like we have a Bible, so did they. Because of Zoroastrianism, the Persians began to view their monarchy as a sacred institution or role. Persian kings believed that they ruled by the power of Ahura Mazda and were responsible to him alone. Darius I had the following statement carved on a cliff: "For this reason Ahura Mazda bore me aid, because I was not an enemy, I was not a deceiver, I was not a wrongdoer, neither I nor my family, according to the righteousness I ruled." So listen to me. Why? Because he wants me to. He put me here. After Darius's rule ended, the Persians continued to practice Zoroastrianism for centuries. The religion has about 200 followers today. Most of them live in South Asia. So guys, you probably never heard of it. Neither had I until I studied ancient history. It's not that famous of a religion. There's only 200,000 people, and it's in pretty much South Asia today. But it still is a religion that exists with that. And so you had number 10 in your notes, that they continue to practice it for centuries. It's just never that famous. But you can see the respect they had for their king because they believed their God put them there. Okay? All right, guys, we're going to stop there for today. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you here next week as we continue on and we talk about the battle that's about to happen. Have a great day.